Welcome to Entry Level Moms.
We're back.
I'm Nasra.
I'm Suya.
And today we have
a special guest.
a very interesting guest.
A very interesting guest. I met this girl actually before COVID. We actually crossed paths.
Yes.
And
yes, we did.
We really got along.
Yeah.
You were with your sister, I was with my sister.
Yeah.
And we were chatting away. It's like I knew her for years. And then we dropped you home after.
I know, I remember.
And then I never saw you again.
I know.
Oh,
Until now.
those types of friendships.
How sad.
You know when you're just like, what happened to that girl? You know that ones?
Oh,
And then
wallahi.
literally-
Did you think that?
I swear
You're
to God,
so
genuinely,
sweet.
I was just like, because for me, when I meet people and I gel with them,
Yeah.
and then I don't see them for a while, I'm like, what happened to that person? I hope they're good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before we introduce her, Sophia,
Yeah.
you might recognize her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been about.
She's a YouTuber. She's
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
She creates content that is very real and very raw.
Yeah.
And stuff that we are very much here to talk about.
Literally.
Literally, that's why
Mental
YouTube
health.
recommended her channel to me.
Uh-huh.
That's how I found her.
And that's how you found her, isn't it?
Oh, that's how she found
was
me
literally-
again. Online.
I was like, what happened to her?
Love.
YouTube.
Wallahi. You know, I got so happy when she commented on one of my videos and she was like,
Yeah.
hi, it's Sawia. I was like, oh my God, Sawia. And then I clicked and I saw your whole podcast and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys on Spotify?
Yeah.
I was like, nah, Spotify, could you do that? I was like, wallahi billah.
Well,
Hede Spotify galambe. Hedeva galembe. MashaAllah. Wallahi. And I saw you and I was like, she seems so lovely. She seems so
thank
funny.
you.
Because you remind me of my friend Sagal, actually.
Yeah, you
like,
literally
the way
said that earlier on.
You remind me of her a lot.
Shout out to Saga, bro.
Shout out to Saga.
Saga.
Woo!
Oh, no, listen, literally, I saw the thumbnail. Yeah, and me, I don't forget a face, innit?
Yeah.
I don't forget a face. Yeah. I saw the thumbnail. I was like, I know this person.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's Marian. Do you
I
know
think
what
I
Yeah.
even sent you one of her videos and I was like, Sophia, look!
Wallahi.
Sophia, we need to talk to her!
So
Oh my-
basically, she
no way.
sent the link to one of your videos to me, and she was like, "We need to get her on the pod." And I was like, "I know her."
Because I found your video on
Yeah.
TikTok. I think I was scrolling on TikTok. Do you have a TikTok account? I'm pretty
Yes,
sure you
I have
do.
a TikTok account,
So
yeah.
I saw one of your videos on TikTok. You were like, I'm going to do a story time. I listened to it and then it was like, watch the rest of the story on YouTube. And I went on YouTube and I was like,
I know.
Sophia, we need her. We need to talk to her.
Wow.
Sophia, this is a conversation that needs to
Bro,
happen.
that's mad. Yes.
And she was like, I know her.
I feel like this was meant to happen,
I was
guys.
like, I met
This
her
is meant to
before,
happen.
subhanallah.
It was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Tell them your name. Tell them who you are. Tell them where they
Okay.
can find you.
My name is Marian. My YouTube channel is called The Diary of a Single Mum. And my TikTok is also Diary of a Single Mum. Yeah. Yeah, alhamdulillah. I'm a mum of 3. I'm a single mom. I have been for about 8 years now. Second year education degree student. So I've been through so much as well, like in terms of healing my generational trauma, mental health, homelessness. Subhanallah, like I've been through it all, and for such a long time I felt shame to speak about things like this, or
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be like creating content, but so many circumstances were happening in my life. Like I had to get my stuff in order first, obviously. But I was also very afraid of actually speaking about what I went through. The fact that I actually got married in Boss House at 18. The fact that, it ended up becoming abusive, and when I left the marriage, I came back to England from Sweden. I was pregnant with my 3rd. It was just chaotic. So, and I see like a lot of mums, like, especially a lot of mums that are going through things, get judged on social media.
So
Like,
so
I don't
often.
know if you have seen the video of a 26-year-old woman with 6 kids. I can't lie to you, I was judging a little bit as well because she has one on the way. Yeah. But she lives in America. No, but people are like, that's fucked up, yo. That's fucked up. They're like, come on, if you got 6 kids and you don't even know how to feed them. You don't even got money. Like, the way they're
Same
just
dad or
drilling.
different dads?
I think just 2 different baby daddies.
Okay, cool. If you said 6 different,
She's
that's when I would start judging.
Yeah, I know. Damn,
Yeah,
I know.
same.
But you know how it is in America. Poverty is even worse over there.
It's so sad.
So like, and a house is very wasaqa and all of this, but the way people talk to you on social media, I just feel like it can be a bit too much.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Then
Like,
it becomes online bullying. There's a very fine line.
Literally.
Very fine line.
Literally, it's so crazy, So before I came out with my story, I didn't want to sound like I'm perfect. I'm going to be honest with you. There's way too many content creators out there who's just like portraying this ideal perfection look or
got
whatever.
their shit together, got everything in order.
Let's be fully honest, guys. No matter how rich you are, no matter how affluent you are, you're gonna have your bad days as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like people are so afraid of showing who they really are because they're afraid of the backlash and the judgment.
Facts.
You know, and there's so many things that I disagree with when I see it on social media, but I see so many people reposting it and I'm just like, I don't know, I have a different take on it because I went through the hardship and I know how it can play about in your life, and I know that like your trauma, if you haven't healed from it, that's gonna lead your life.
Facts.
Unconsciously.
It's gonna influence all your decisions.
It's gonna influence all of your decisions, you know. And we've all been through it, especially Somalia and I. We're Somali, you know. No matter like how good our parents were, or like we're all gonna have like remnants of trauma, something, because it's a lineage, you know. Either that's somarte, awoga that's somare, you know, like your great grandma somarte, you know. And apparently, it actually traces back into DNA. You know that.
It does.
So when your mom is pregnant with you, right? I feel like I think I heard somewhere that your grandmother's trauma and your mum's trauma will affect you in the stomach in pregnancy.
It does, yeah.
You know?
That's why it's important for pregnant women to look after them, make sure they're looked after.
Yeah.
Don't be too stressed. All of that affects the baby.
Yeah,
Everything.
exactly. Literally on
affects that baby.
my 3 pregnancies, I can't lie to you. It was hard. It was stressful. But alhamdulillah, my children, you know what? I'm so grateful to Allah, yeah? My children are extremely like cognitively, like they're doing well. They're very smart kids. Allah Mubarak. They're very loving, very caring, and like very, I would say, healthy children, you know. And we care about our mental health a lot at home, you know, of course, because I still sometimes go through depressed days, guys.
Of course, you're human.
Sometimes I feel like and I'm one of those people, I isolate when I go through like
you have 3 kids and you're a single parent and you're doing this on your own.
Literally,
it's natural. I have 1. I'm a single parent and I struggle.
Yeah.
Of course people struggle. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
As long as, the thing is, I feel like as long as your children understand you're having a bad day, then that's where everything starts to be less traumatic for them.
Yeah.
Because if your kids are thinking, what is wrong with my mum? One day she's happy, one day she's angry, one day she's sad, one day she doesn't want to leave her bed. Like they can't make sense of it. But if you teach them how to make sense of it, and they understand, hey, look, I've never had 3 kids before.
Yeah.
I've never been a mum to you at this age before. You know, how old are your kids?
12, 10, and my little one's turning 8 in May.
Soon you're going to be entering the teenage phase.
I know.
Then you'll be like, I've never had a teenager before. I don't know how to navigate this. We're doing this together, right? But I'm human, and there's going to be days where I'm going to be sad. There's going to be days where I'm going to be exhausted. As long as your kids know that.
Sometimes mom needs to stay in bed.
Facts.
Go downstairs and fend for yourselves, kids.
Yeah.
Well, I go help each other.
Yeah, I know what you mean, honestly. I just think maybe it's me being hard on myself as well.
No,
Well, you know what? I am the queen of being hard on myself.
Queen.
Wallahi, you need to cut yourself some fucking slack.
I know. How do you do that?
Me?
Yeah.
I vent and cry about it to these lot.
Oh,
Wallahi.
yeah.
And then they're like, you're a great mum. And I'm like, but I feel like a shit mum. And they're like, no, you're not, Nasra. Talk yourself out of it. You have to talk yourself out of it. Wallahi.
Wow.
You need a village. You need a community. This is what we are. Heavy. We are the banner holders of you need a village and a community. Isn't it so?
Yeah.
For real.
I love that, girl.
Are you coming to our event on Sunday?
I really wanted to, guys. I really wanted to, but childcare is not in place.
Damn.
Oh, it's okay.
So I can't be like, go fend for yourself, kids, in that section. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I'm joking. Stuff.
You know, in a couple of years though,
yeah,
your kids will be teenagers.
I
They'll
know.
start looking after each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Inshallah.
let's take it to the beginning.
Yeah.
You got married really young.
I know.
At 18.
18. What is that like? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. 18, I was very stupid.
Yeah, 18. I was very stupid.
I was very stupid at 18.
Well, I'd be like, I'm like, and they're like, no,
I was an absolute idiot at 18.
I'm looking at them now.
Oh, bless you.
No. So basically, I just finished my A-levels, right? And I've always been a person who's been susceptible to like mental health stuff, you know, problems, you know. Okay. So I feel like I've always gone through like the depression stages and then gotten a bit better. I don't think I knew at that time what depression even meant, right? Okay. So after my A-levels, I think I was quite confused. we ended up going to Bosaso on holiday.
Bosaso
and I remember all
Somalia.
my friends in Somalia, guys. Puntland.
Yeah.
Going back to, yes, I was going to Bosaso with my mum. My auntie came to me before I left and she was like, your mother's going to leave you.
Please don't leave.
That's how she speaks, by the way, as well. She was like, your mother's going to leave you. I'm just letting you know. Habarir, your mum, I think she's going to leave you in Somalia.
Oh, shit. She warned you?
Yeah. And I was like, what? I was like, no way. Ain't no way my mom's going to leave me in Somalia. You know, at that time, I was showing debata behavior. Okay. Like, I was coming home late. I was hanging out with people that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I was like, no, mom's not going to leave me. So I went to my mom and I was like, Hoyo, she said you're going to leave me. Hoyo was like, I never leave you, Hoyo. I'll never leave you.
Of course she's going to say that to you.
I was like, hey, Hoyo.
It's kind of sad.
It's true. She
sad?
weren't going to leave me though.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways,
cool.
I did all of this to myself when I was 18.
Oh, shit.
It happens so much, though. That
it does happen so much.
We're going on a holiday. We're going to Dubai. They go to Dubai. And then they go to Somalia. And then their passport gets taken.
My 3 little brothers were already in Somalia. My little brother, actually, Mahamoud, was there. And my mum, she didn't take him for Nakan Ellis, but she did take him to my uncle to stay for a few years. Oh. So she did say to him, we're going Yemen. And then she ended up taking him to Somalia. But he wasn't too upset because my uncle is a bakar. My uncle's a king, wallahi. Like, Abti Mahdi, honestly, like, people would bring their kids to my uncle and then they'd come out well behaved.
Okay.
My uncle, wallahi, like, my uncle had something. He had a special touch or something.
Oh.
Wow.
Seriously. Yeah. Like, Ila Hada, I absolutely, like, adore my uncle, you know.
So she really trusted him to, like...
She really trusted him, you know. So we went to Somalia. The plane ended up stopping us somewhere else. Like, they changed the destination, right?
Mid-flight.
We got on Dala Airways or Juba Airways. I don't remember, one of the two, And wallahi, on one of my story times, guys, I said that there weren't any seatbelts in the plane. And people were like, that's lying. That's a health and safety hazard. I was like, Naga Amos. I was like, I know that's a health and safety hazard, darling, but there weren't no bloody seatbelts. And there were 3 Somali aunties sitting on the floor, like, right there.
You're joking.
Wallahi, and I was like, wallahi billahi, wallahi billahi. On the plane. Literally, wallahi, and it was so hot. There was no air conditioning. Wallahi, they were sitting on the floor. There was no air conditioning, and I said, "Excuse me, can I have some water, please?" And a white pilot came to, and not a white pilot, but like a white person came to me that works in the flight, obviously. And then they gave me a bottle of water. I drank it, and it was really warm. It was warm water. So this actually happened. A lot of people were saying, I'm lying, guys. And then alhamdulillah, a few people came in the comments and said, you're right. Because I same thing happened to you.
I took Dialog Airlines.
But this was a long time ago.
In 2013, I went to Somalia.
Yes.
We took Dialog Airlines from Dubai.
Okay.
We had seatbelts back then. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, okay.
But you know how everyone has a seat assigned to them?
Yeah.
Tell me why I saw one uncle sitting on my seat.
Oh.
And I went up to him and I was like, excuse me, sir.
This is my chair?
I said, this is my chair. He said, someone else took my seat. He said, sit wherever you like.
Oh, wow.
Somalis don't even know how to queue up because in Dubai, I remember everyone was like, and from at the top, they were looking down at us like we were herds of cattle. Wallahi, I was like 18 that time.
Goodness me, I love and hate my people.
Yeah.
I love my people. Only us,
They're just funny. It's just comical. We're just comical. Wallahi, we're just comical. But when you're in it, when you're in the thick of it and you're on the plane, and
I'm sorry, but me, my mum and my auntie had to sit separately. I didn't even know where they were the whole flight.
Oh, wow.
My auntie was back there. My mum was in front of me. Fam, long day.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway,
Crazy.
sorry. Get back to the story.
So, we got stopped, I think, at Berbera. And then afterwards, we had to get on something else to go to... No, sorry. We got stopped at Hargeisa, and then we had to get a car to a hotel.
Wow.
Hotel Hunan al-Lagay.
Oh, God.
My mom's never been to Hargeisa that time as well. And then after that, Hotel Hun al-Lagay, we stayed there for Halhabin. And after that, we got taken by car to Bosaso. Right?
How long is that drive?
3 days.
What?
No, not 3 days.
Oh my
so
God.
it was definitely 2. It was definitely 2 nights. I remember, but it's so blurry, you know, because it's been so many years, you know. Yeah. But I remember it's 2 nights. Amulet ahead, and on top of that, you know how it's a 5-seater, right? It's a 5-seater car, right? Like 8 of us people, Amal got on. 2 skinny Somali men sat at the front with the driver. Me, my mum, and my sister sat together on the 3-seater, and another lady tried to knock on the door and say, and Hoyle was like, space. And then, because usually it would be able to accommodate 4 people apparently. And then the back seat, the back bit, there's a big space. It's called the market car. The boot. Like it doesn't look like a boot because there's a whole space.
Okay.
2 other men sat at the back on the boot bit, and they were eating jad, like, and everything. It was crazy. We got stopped by people with guns. Like it was mad. Wallahi. I saw hyenas on the way. I was like, Allah. Me and my sister, I was like, Ayan, oh my God, like hyenas. I saw monkeys. I was like, wow. So it was honestly amazing. Anyways, we stayed in Somalia, in Bosaso, for about a few months. And it was lovely because my siblings were there and everything. And then I got to know this guy who works for my uncle, right? Yeah. And then, wallahi, I don't remember how fast it happened, but I ended up getting married, guys. And I can't lie to you, now that I think back, I think it was to escape how I felt.
Okay, fair.
You know, it was to escape how I felt. My mom doesn't really know about mental and emotional health that much. So I couldn't really talk to my mom about anything. I couldn't speak to my dad about anything. You know, I was already exhibiting like challenging behavior, you know, before we left. And I was really, I think, struggling with myself. And then I thought marriage would be the solution, right?
Yeah.
So, and we had Ramadan there as well. So I started practicing more. So I thought that maybe marriage would be the solution, because you know they say it's better to make it halal
instead of taking long.
So that's what I thought. And then wallahi, straight after that, I think about 3 months into the marriage, he started to get really kind of horrible to me. You know, I had a miscarriage before I had Sahara. I remember in Somalia, guys, imagine miscarriage. And I remember him saying to me, it's my fault. He was like,
oh my God.
How does going outside
all my days. Like, wallahi billah. I was bleeding heavily, guys. And yeah, I found out it was a miscarriage. And I remember him coming home and just saying to me, it's my fault. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then after that, he started making comments like, his sister said, why aren't you getting pregnant yet? You know, are you taking, you know, what was it again, contraception pills? Like the girls in Europe, the pills that they take, are you taking them? Like, it was just very weird, you know, or he would give me the silent treatment, you know. And then I just decided, like, I'm going to stay in this marriage. Because culturally, we're taught, I don't know about, I wouldn't say the women these days, but like from back in the days, like you need to tough it out with your husband. You need to
100%.
stick with him.
And you can't tell anyone your problems.
Yes, stick with him. Like I literally saw a video, I feel like 3 weeks ago, of, and I'm not disagreeing with everything he said, but I remember Darkest Man, basically, he was saying in a podcast, he said, don't ever speak about your marriage problems with anyone. And I was like, I agree to an extent. I feel like some people who are in unhealthy dynamics, they should be able to have someone to speak to.
Also, I think if you keep everything in, like, to yourself, sometimes you might have an issue that is very easily resolvable, but because you haven't spoken to anyone in that same situation, like, you wouldn't know how to resolve it, and then it will fester, and then it will cause more problems.
It will eat you alive,
like they say. Sorry, they say, like, the smart person, when he has an issue with, for example, you want to know about construction, are you going to go ask your mom about construction?
No.
Go ask someone who knows about construction about the construction, right? So the problem that we have here is that people have marital issues and then they go to the first person that they know that's married. That's usually their parents. And sometimes your parents cannot help you with the issues that you have because their mentality is Their mentality is from like, when they were children.
Yeah, exactly. Just be patient. That's one thing I've been told a lot. But
the be patient thing is, I feel like it's a scam.
And you know what's scary as well, guys? Even religious leaders won't necessarily help either, because a lot of women have reached out to religious leaders and said, I haven't gotten my dowry. I haven't been getting, he hasn't been paying the bill for months. Like, what should I do? And then there's not really much help.
Yep.
So I feel like, patriarchy is definitely a big one when it comes to women feeling like they're suppressed, and it plays out in many different cultures, not just Somali culture. Even in the Western culture, it plays out a lot. If we look, even if we look at like the pay, and you compare like women and men, like subhanallah, the gender pay gap.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, guys, and it's unfair.
And you know what as well, like with the religious leaders, I've noticed that a lot of times when people go to them to ask for help, usually these guys, a lot of them, like, and don't come for me, right? Don't come for me. This is just from what I have experienced. A lot of the people we consider as religious leaders are not actually very, very, very knowledgeable. Yeah. They just have hafid the Quran. They know about the Sunnah. Like, they know the basics, right? They don't know. They can't. You have to train to be somebody who's like a counselor. You have to train to be someone who's a marital advisor. You have to train for these things. And a lot of these guys, they might lead the prayer, like they might lead tarawih, but a lot of them aren't trained in the art of like counsel. And that's where we're going wrong. You're going to people who are not trained, and that's why they would rather be quiet and not say anything rather than give you advice that could ruin your marriage. And then now they're going to feel responsible for your divorce. Do you get what I mean?
Definitely. And I feel like you said, counseling, learning how to counsel people is important.
Very.
And also personal growth. So what have you been through in your life that could make you a person who's more empathetic to other people?
Yes.
Like, I feel like suffering in life makes you a much more compassionate person.
100%.
Even though it's like the harder route, a lot of people don't want to suffer. They don't want to get heartbreak. They don't want to get this. But I can't lie to you, the best lessons that I've learned was through the hardships that I faced and that I went through. And I'm sure it's the same with you girls, if you went through postpartum depression, you know how that feels like. When you come out of it, you care more and you kind of like understand people's suffering and understand people's pain more. You'll look at others and you won't judge straight away. You'll be like, oh my gosh,
you
this
have
person, you have more compassion. Man. Even for the homeless, well, like, I can't lie to you, I don't judge the way that I see other people do it. Like, get a job, man. I hate when people do that,
Because you don't know what they've been through.
Well, I hate when people do that.
Yeah. You don't know what they've been through at all.
If you look at, like, we were talking about children's mental health, right?
Yeah.
We just mentioned that. But basically, it all starts from when you're a child. So imagine people that end up on the street. You think they just ended up on the street. No, there were factors that led up to that.
Yeah.
So they might have had a dysfunctional family, or they might have come from a impoverished background,
Might have been abused.
And they might have been abused.
They might have
been in care.
Issues.
How about that?
They could have been in care.
Because children in care as well, some of them are abused in the care system.
They could have PTSD from being
veterans. Veterans.
Yeah.
People forget the veterans as well.
People
I feel sorry for them.
There's a lot.
Even the pigeons, they were a part of World War II. Like, that they made the pigeon. They brought the pigeons specifically for World War. Wallahi, a lady told me. And then now the pigeons are neglected. They're eating chicken and chips. They don't even know they're eating their cousin. Wallahi, chicken, you know what I'm saying? They're eating their cousins, wallahi. They don't even know.
No, but you know what?
It's so
pigeons
sad.
are moving mad. Like, sorry, segue.
Yeah.
Pigeons used to be afraid of people walking past.
They
Now
don't
I'm seeing
give a
pigeons
shit.
right next to me. It's looking at me.
They're angry. They're angry. Wallahi, they've had enough. They've been neglected. They've been forgotten.
Wait, forget about the pigeons. The foxes don't care anymore.
Foxes, I'm getting scared now.
The foxes don't care anymore.
Rabies, do they have rabies with them? Oh gosh.
Foxes are not scared of humans anymore. I'm walking along the street, it's dark, and they're walking alongside me.
Yeah, literally.
On the pavement.
Oh,
why not? We all share the same.
Scary.
We all share the same society. They might as well just get comfortable.
Yeah, literally. No.
Foxes are cute.
But no, you're right. Patriarchy is a very, very sad.
It's very sad. It's definitely something that we can see now, like it's unfolding. If you look at how people are turning out, children are turning out. you know, the whole incel thing is increased now.
That is,
you know,
crazy.
Subhanallah.
That scares me.
That show, Adolescence.
I finished it.
Oh my God.
I know.
That show had my jaw on the floor.
It highlights so many different aspects of basically what can lead up to a child becoming like that. You know, like neglect, emotional neglect of your sons.
Such a normal family.
Men are not taught how to deal with their emotions. So how do they help their children emotionally?
Thing is, you can prep your kid. Yeah, you can prep your kid so nicely before they get to school. The problem is someone else's dusty son could now try and, you know, assault your daughter or whatever it is. That's the problem.
It's so true. It's so sad, honestly,
That's
guys.
What's scary, and it just makes you think, like, I want to homeschool them.
100%.
Oh, did you hear about them changing the laws for homeschooling?
Yes.
Apparently it's not a right anymore. Apparently you have to go through screening to find out whether you're eligible or whether your child is in a safe environment to be able to homeschool.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I feel like the government, they try to look for different ways to control. They don't want people to homeschool the kids.
No.
I think it's because of adolescence.
Curriculum.
I think it's also because of adolescence as well. When it came out, I'm sure a lot of parents were like, yeah, my kid's not going to secondary school.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy, honestly, guys. And the school system is a very difficult one as well. Even though I'm studying to become a teacher, you know, I just feel like the school system is like they teach children to be silent and to just do what they're meant to be told. You know, I don't know if it's like that for private schools, but it is like that for like more like state schools. You know, my daughter, who's very confident, she's 12, right? She's very intelligent, very confident. And I remember she had a situation with a girl who was her best friend. They had a fight. And then basically the head teacher, I think the assistant head, was just calling my daughter manipulative. And she just took the other girl's side because the girl had a medical problem. So she was just like literally coming for my daughter. And I had to go to the school and like complain and everything. But just to say basically that you can see how some of these teachers and members of authority use their power to kind of kill a child's spirit.
Yes. I was going to say,
they're killing the spirit of the child, you know?
Do you know what's so mad? There's now this whole thing with like Montessori education. Montessori.
Yeah, Montessori.
Education where they're like, let the child learn how to defend themselves and be confident, and you know, all of these skills that you would want them to be outgoing and speak up for themselves and through play, right? So they learn how to advocate for themselves. And when they get to primary school, they're encouraged to speak up, they're encouraged to talk, they're encouraged to like form relationships, and if there's conflict they resolve it, right? Some primary schools. And then they get to secondary school and they're like,
army,
you're advocating for yourself, therefore you are disruptive. They're labeled.
Bro,
you're advocating for yourself, therefore you're a problem in my class. You can speak up for yourself and you can say, actually, that's not what happened. This person is doing this to me, and they feel intimidated by the child's confidence.
Literally.
And that's so scary, because you as an adult, if you're intimidated by a child, then there's something wrong with you.
Exactly.
And if you're trying to make children conform and you have 30 children in your class, you're crazy. Because how are you going to make 30 different children from different backgrounds, from different religions, from different cultures, from different ethnicities, from different, like, everything, conform into one way? And then when there's that one kid or the two kids that are like, my mom taught me to say what's on my mind. My family, I've grown up in a free space. I've grown up in like a environment where I can talk,
I can be myself,
and I don't feel afraid of speaking my truth. That child is always labeled, and I can say that because I was that child, and I was labeled. Right. I was labeled from the jump as problematic, as disruptive, as somebody who comes in and talks too much, or but I was always the kid that was like, actually, that's wrong. What you're doing to that person is wrong. Like, what you're doing to me is wrong. I don't like this. Like, I was always that kid that was very vocal about things that were wrong. I had a teacher who was my RE teacher. If she ever sees this, I want to say, kufariso. Sit on it, right? Even because you know what she did to me? She actually targeted me in every class from year 9. She targeted me in every single class, to the point where, because I would ask questions in the class, I'd be like, that doesn't make sense. can you explain that to me?
Yeah.
And she hated the fact that I loved learning.
Yeah.
She hated the fact that I wanted to know, right? So sometimes I'd be coming up the stairs to go to the classroom, and she, wallahi, I'm walking up the stairs, minding my own business. I'm just trying to get to her class.
Yeah.
She'd go, I don't like your attitude. You sit outside. I haven't even stepped in.
You didn't even do nothing.
I haven't even stepped in your class yet.
You're just existing.
I'm literally just walking. I'm not even talking to anyone. There's nobody even with me. I'm just walking.
Oh,
I don't like
honestly.
90-minute lesson, double period of RE. I'm sat on the stairs outside her classroom. When I started speaking up and I started saying, you know what, actually, what she's doing is wrong, because all I want to do is participate. All I want to do is join the class. Yeah. This is actually an interesting subject. Like, I'm doing well in this class.
Yeah.
She'd let me in after I complained, and then you know what she would do?
What?
She'd sit me in the class and she'd say, give me your shoe, or give me your Oyster card. And she'd say, because if you disrupt anyone in my class, right, I'm not going to give you your Oyster card, or I'm not going to give you a shoe. You're going to walk home with one shoe, or you're going to walk home with no Oyster card.
Serious?
What? I swear to God, Holland Park School, you will pay for your crimes.
That's crazy. Yeah. She would literally withhold your stuff.
Yes, the RE teacher. I swear, if I remember your name, I'm going to look through my records. When I remember your name, bruv.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And then people like that shouldn't be teaching.
No.
So imagine there's people like that teaching your children in school. You've raised your child to be outspoken.
Exactly.
You've raised your child to be an advocate for justice, right? And then they go to school and they're bullied by a teacher.
Yeah. Do
you know how sad that is? Somebody of authority.
Yeah.
And then I remember...
And they're aware of the power imbalance as well.
Of course they're aware.
And that's exactly the same thing that I said when I went to go and complain. I said, I'm sure she's aware of the power imbalance, you know, seeing as she has a degree.
Facts.
You know, but I was like, there's clearly a lack in emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
You know? So, well, I be like, yeah, it's crazy, honestly. The education system, you can see how it is.
And you know what's so mad? Things like that stay with you. You never forget stuff like that. You never
forget.
Like, I recall that. I feel like I can place myself in that class. There was one time she took my shoe as a token, right? Yeah. Just to make sure I would behave. And then she asked a question. Nobody put their hand up. And then she looked at me and she went, Nazra, do you have anything to say? Like that, right? And I went, I'm talking to you. Before that, she said to me, you're not allowed to speak in my class. So I've shaken my head up. I'm not talking in your class, right? So I'm silent. And I've gone like this. Are you going to say anything? And I've went, I don't have anything to say. You're giving me attitude. Get out of my class. I'm telling you. Crazy. I remember thinking, this woman hates me. I remember, but is it just me? I have a problem with people hating me, bruv. What the hell is going on?
Do you?
Listen, this woman, actually, she would not have me in her class to the point where I was like, Alhamdulillah, I'd rather sit outside. I'd rather sit outside and just write stuff in my book, or like I'd go walking around in the school. It's a shame because you
were missing class time, which was supposed to be an engaging time for you to learn and to, especially seeing as you were doing well.
I actually enjoyed learning
subject. Yeah,
but she made me hate RE. She made me hate RE.
That is crazy.
But things like that, children remember it. Wallahi.
They don't forget.
You don't forget stuff like that happens to you. You never forget.
And some of the children, you know, thankfully, you are still very who you are.
Yeah.
Some children,
they
take that on, they internalize it. And then for the rest of their life, they conform to everybody else, and they just say what everybody else wants to hear, and then they're suffering. And things like that, suppressing yourself, leads to depression. Let's fully be honest, you know, like depression. You're depressing yourself. You're suppressing yourself. You're suppressing who you really are.
Facts.
You know, and wallahi, society in general suppresses everyone, let's be honest, like, because there are constrictions, and you know, based on your class system, based on your color, based on your religion, everything. Do you know what I mean? The more you have, the more challenges you're likely to face, right? But then on top of that, imagine if you're carrying that as well, and then now you're pushing yourself down. It will just increase, you know, whatever issues you have, you know. So we have the school system, we have so many factors that can lead to a child becoming ill or becoming an adult who's not able to function in society as a grown up. I'm still healing from my trauma. Like, I'm still healing every single day. I'm a grown woman, you know, like, and I'm still healing. Like, imagine the people that are going through worse, especially this day and age, guys. It's gotten worse. Economy's gotten worse, guys. Let's be fully honest.
Yeah.
Poverty is worse than ever.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who's a social worker, actually, he said that more families are coming into food banks more than ever. to basically get food.
It's rife. Like there's so many.
Yeah. You know?
It's so tough.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my gosh, so sad, you know? Like these things are basic necessities. Like
food banks have become a norm.
Wow, yeah.
Food banks have become a norm. You know, before it was unheard of. People were embarrassed to go to a food bank to claim help because they were like, oh my God, like people are going to see that I'm broke. People are going to see that I'm poor. People are going to see that I'm asking for free food. It almost felt like begging. Yeah. But now, food banks after COVID are a norm. Normal.
Mad.
Normal thing. Yeah. And that's not something we should be normalizing. Why can't they fix the system so that people don't need to go to food banks?
Yes.
Why can't they fix the economy so that we have money in our pockets?
Exactly.
Like why is everything so hard for the working class? Why?
Capitalism, Abaya. Literally. We were learning a lot about neoliberalism, I think, basically my first year of uni, and Margaret Thatcher brought out neoliberalism to this country, right? I don't really know much about politics, you know, but neoliberalism got me angry.
When she died, they said
I want to fight.
Witch is
I
dead.
want to fight, Naya. I want to fight. Well, like, I was like, Margaret, where are you? Well, like, I was getting
when
angry.
She died, they said the witch is dead when she died. Literally, people could not stand her. They said
Ding
that
dong.
she took...
Ding dong,
the witch is dead. They said that she took milk from babies' mouths.
Yeah.
That's what they said. And she did.
And this is how it's affected us to this day. I feel like they call it the late stages of capitalism now. We're in the late stages of it. So now you can see the effects. You know, like the boomers, they were able to buy houses and all of this in a cleaner's salary, you know? Or, you know, in a person who's working in a grocery store, their salary, you know? And now we have lawyers, doctors that aren't even able to buy their own property, of course.
It's the same boomers that are telling us now, just...
So lazy.
Why you subscribe to Netflix? Just cut that out.
Stop buying coffee.
What's $12.99 gonna do for me?
Exactly. What's $12.99 gonna do for me?
It's $12.99.
Exactly.
$12.99 is like a buy house.
Don't buy that Starbucks coffee. Don't live in it. Just say don't live.
You'll be rich if you stop buying coffees.
Stop buying coffee. Literally unsubscribe from your Netflix. Yeah, maybe then you'll buy a house. Oh, shut up.
No.
Listen, when you were buying houses for 8K back in 1984.
Exactly. And now it's worth what, 350K? Like
400-500K. It's mad.
You know,
it's mad. You know, on my Uber here, this is so interesting, right? But when I was in my Uber here, the gentleman had LBC News on, and there was a lady. She was a presenter. She was talking. I don't remember her name. Sorry. She was talking about how in this generation right now, in this time, we have the lowest birth rates. There are more 65-year-olds right now than there are under 5s.
Wow.
In this country.
Wow.
And then they had like, oh, call up if you want to have a chat and like, you know, explain whether you're a parent or whether you're somebody who doesn't have kids, and explain why, basically. And a lady called in and she said, so I'm 35. I still live at my mum's house. I come from an academic family, and I can't afford to have a child. In this day and age, like I don't even have my own house. I'm 35. I'm waiting until I get my finances in order before I think about, you know, finding a partner and having a kid.
Exactly.
And then she asked her, she was like, do you think that like, would you just do it and just get pregnant? And then, or does that feel very irresponsible to you? Yeah. And then the girl she was a bit taken aback, but she was like, I mean, like she was like, do you have a partner right now? And she was like, no. So she's 35, deep it, right? She's 35. Yeah. She lives in her family house. She's comes from an academic background. So she's probably a lawyer, doctor, pharmacist, something along those lines, right? And she can't afford to buy her own house.
That's mad.
And she feels like she can't afford to have a child.
Yeah. That's a normal thing in society, especially in the UK today.
And she said, I'm going to wait a few years, save up, and then I'll consider having a kid. What, by the time she's 40?
Exactly.
45?
Yeah. Even if you look at the salaries, guys, a junior doctor earns what, 20-something K a year?
Imagine.
How many years am I studying?
5 years or what?
They only just increased the teacher's salary to 38,000 starting salary in inner London. But before it used to be like 20-something, like thousands, you know? And a lot of people are angry for the nurses because they're like, now teachers are getting paid more than a nurse would if she was there for like 3 years. You know, so it's that's what's happening. You know,
people don't want to have children because they it's more like,
and rightfully so.
It's more
rightfully so
effort and headache than it's worth.
It is.
But then if you're Muslim, you're like, if you're Muslim, you're like, oh, if I have a kid, the kid comes with their own rizq. The kid comes with their own barakah.
The
kid comes with their own, you know. So that's why we be popping out children.
I know. But they do, you know. But at the same time, you have to, again, like Prophet Muhammad said about tying your camel and then putting your trust in Allah.
Facts.
You still have to work hard.
Exactly.
So yes, we have a positive mindset because of Islam, and we're like, okay, our children will bring us rizq. But guys, if you think about it, we got off our asses and we worked.
Facts.
We worked hard. Like, I had to work night shifts to get my first flat here in the UK.
Wow.
You know, like my first private rent, because they wouldn't help me. I told you, no recourse to public funds. I had that.
Can you explain that? Can you explain that? Because I know a lot of people who are on no recourse to public funds.
Do you know people?
They're not affected. Yeah, they're affected by either being brought here on a spousal visa and then things don't work out. They experience like abuse at home. And then they realize that, okay, well, I don't want to be with this person maybe 2 or 3 years into the marriage.
So where are they getting their money from?
And now they're on no recourse to public funding because they're not eligible.
Wow.
It's so sad. There's so many people like that.
Okay, which country do they come from in Europe?
Somalia.
Somalia.
Kenya.
Okay. Asylum seekers. Though,
yeah.
Right?
Tanzania. But they wouldn't really be classed as asylum seekers because they came on a spousal visa.
I don't know.
They weren't seeking asylum. They were getting married or they were married.
Are they going to be sent back? Are they going to be sent back to Africa? Or?
See, this is the thing. It depends if you have kids, if you don't have kids.
Yeah.
But still, there's a process. And there will be a time period where they won't have access to public funds in the slightest.
That's really sad.
I know somebody, I know someone who came from Portugal who was living in a hostel who literally did not have any access to public funds except for child benefit. They were living. When I say living, I mean I encompass everything. Living on £20 a week. Living.
Child?
One child that was about 3 years old.
Electricity? How?
Gas? So, luckily for her, the hostel provided the electricity and the heating and the water and the food. Right? Not the food. And the water and like shelter, basically.
So she had to buy food.
She had to pay for her own food. She had to pay for her child's food. She had to pay for public transport. She had to pay for
shoes, coat,
clothing, right? Everything that you could possibly think of on
£20
a week. £20. And then when she got given a flat, like they gave her a council flat, they refused. Universal Credit was like, we're not giving you no rent money. Arrears. The arrears are like in the 5Ks or 10Ks.
She's still there though, right?
It's crazy. I think she's still there, but now she has to work. It's absolutely insane.
It's long because even if you want to work,
people
are think about
we're not like
fees.
See, now when you tell me things like this, it's like so many people are going through it.
So you know when you see me, I don't know when people see me on Instagram, when you see me fundraising for a single mum, or when you see me saying, "Oh guys, I'm trying to help this person. Can you send me some money?" Even £5 will help because imagine some of these people are living off £20 a week. Can you live off £20 a week?
It's really heartbreaking, honestly.
I can't live off 20. I spend £20 in a day.
Yeah. You
go. I can't live off £20. You walk outside your house.
Yeah.
TFL is £12.
Yeah, literally, I breathe air. £5 gone. Like I'm like oxygen. Like no, but honestly, it's crazy. And it shouldn't be happening. These things shouldn't be happening, guys. These are the basic needs for a human to actually live.
Facts.
If you're in survival mode, I don't know if you guys know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, we do.
So, if your basic survival needs aren't met, like home, shelter, food, water, you won't be able to go into the next stage, which is looking for, I don't know, I think it was like safety, comfort, love, all of that, and then move your way towards working and all of this. How is a person supposed to be able to think critically towards security?
Yeah.
How is a person able to work towards security when they are thinking about their bills, food, what's my child going to eat tomorrow? Where am I going to sleep tonight? Where am I going to sleep? How are you going to get a degree or be able to even think? Do you know what I mean? So that you can go towards security.
Yeah.
And they're not even just that, but kids, they outgrow everything. Their shoes don't fit them anymore.
Every time.
Their jackets don't fit them anymore.
Especially the first 4 years, every couple of months.
Nothing fits anymore.
Whole new wardrobe.
Yeah.
Shoes, this. How many jackets?
It will still continue.
Did Jenna go through
still
just
when
this winter?
Yeah. My children they still outgrow things all the time.
And then factor in language barrier. How are they going to speak to people and find out where they can get help? They can't.
Yes.
Imagine there's a language barrier.
Yes, guys.
Imagine.
And everything is done online now as well.
Imagine they don't even have a smartphone.
So you don't have a smartphone. SubhanAllah, what's that called again? Technology poverty or something like that. I forgot what it was called.
It's a barrier to technology or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically poverty, but technology-wise.
It is.
You know? How are people going to move forward? And then imagine the stress that you're feeling and the emotional and the mental stress that you're feeling, and then later on it infiltrates into your children, and then your children also develop mental health problems. Do you know what I mean? And your children are going to school with dirty shoes or dirty clothes or this and this,
and then they're being bullied.
And then they're being bullied.
Oh, you smell.
I remember, you know what? And the system, they don't believe you, like, or they don't try to help you. Like, I remember when I was working night shift to get our flat, right? And this time we were living at my AA's house, and we were basically like, we had nothing. We were homeless, right? I had to eat whatever my grandma was making. We had nothing. I was living on £50 a week because my sister was giving me £50 a week from her student loan.
Wow.
To buy my little one like nappies and stuff. I'm not even joking, guys.
Oh my god.
And then basically after the no recourse to public funds, I could finally apply my daughter into school and my other little one into nursery. And then what happened was, after that, I started working night shift. So when I was working night shift, I remember I wouldn't sleep. I would come back home, I'd put on her school clothes, and I would walk my daughter to school. But we'd always be running late, and her attendance wasn't great. So I remember one time they called me into the office, and they were just like, oh, like, why is your daughter always attending late? Like, you know, and then I just broke down. I burst into tears, and I was like, I'm working night shift. I don't sleep. I have a baby at home who's about 6 months, right? I'm not earning anything. I'm literally, and I'm saving every penny I have so we can get a house, you know? And then they were just looking at me, I remember, but they wouldn't they can't, you can tell that there's
no empathy, basically.
Yeah,
because
you know,
they can't relate to somebody they've never experienced. Something like that. They can't relate.
You're on the floor, you're struggling, especially I feel like women are put through the worst. So if you're a struggling single mom, for example, people will be like, yeah, but why did you have the kids? The kids are here though now. They're here
now.
They're here, darling.
Can you go back in time?
Like, do you know what I mean? Can we go back in time? Why they're here?
I hate people that ask stupid questions like that.
Yeah, and there's no one who wanted a stable marriage life more than me. Like the way I wanted it, guys. I stayed in that marriage for 6 years, and I was holding on to it, and I didn't say a word to any of my family members.
Thought it was gonna get better.
He used to tell me I'm gonna burn in hell. He used to say so many things to me, and now we're cool, we're fine, innit? But he remembers this, and literally, I couldn't tell anyone because I didn't want my marriage to fall apart. And I didn't want to become a single mum because growing up, I saw my mum as a single mum for quite a long time before she got remarried again.
Yeah.
And my mum was stigmatized by even friends. Like, friends would talk about her because my mum had 7 kids, right? So, and she was like 34 with 7 kids. Young woman.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. How long were you in Somalia for, basically?
I was in Somalia for 2 years.
Wow.
I ended up staying there for 2 years. I had my wedding there. I had everything. Like, literally, that's why my Somali is good.
Your
that's why.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I love speaking. You know what, yeah, guys, yeah. And well, like, my preference, like, if I was to remarry again, my preference will always be Somali men. Yeah. Like, you know, but I feel like it's because when I went back home and I just, like, I love the culture so much, guys.
I hear that.
It's in my heart. Like, I love Somali music, like old Somali music.
I love Somali music.
Hassan Aadan Samatar, like, you know, them old Mahalada artists. Like, I love old Somali music. I love the food. I love everything. Yeah. But I wasn't that connected to my culture, like, until I went there and I met my uncle Abdi Mahdi and all of this. But there were also downsides, the abusive marriage, you know, and I didn't know what abuse was. I couldn't recognize.
How could you know what abuse was at 18?
I was so young. And that time, guys, there wasn't as much awareness on mental health as there is now, you know?
So you couldn't even talk about
people never really used to talk about anxiety and depression. I remember sitting in sociology class where we should have been learning about things like mental health and how it affects the disadvantaged people. And, you know, we were never, ever actually factoring in mental health because mental health wasn't really understood still. It's only just recently that mental health.
Say that.
Yes.
It's
2012,
so like, 20 years
2000.
ago.
Why did I say yes like that? I was like, yes.
It's the passion.
I would be like, what happened to me?
You're going into it.
I feel like when I'm creating content, I don't feel as good as I feel now. I think it's because I'm speaking and bouncing off of you guys' ideas.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but honestly,
it's lonely sometimes,
and then
guys.
when you came to the UK,
I
hope this is a safe space for you, honestly.
I love
it here. We were speaking on the phone, today. She called me and she was like, I'm so nervous. And I was like, I promise you, after a couple of minutes.
Exactly.
You'll be okay.
Exactly, yeah.
But, when you came to the UK, how many kids, did you have just the one at the time?
When I came to the UK, I had Sahara, yes.
Yeah, Sahara's such a nice name.
Yeah, Sahara's my oldest daughter. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my children, they're just... Alhamdulillah. I'm just grateful to Allah.
You know what's so mad,
Alhamdulillah.
When you go through certain things, Allah puts ease in other things.
Yeah.
So you go through a stressful pregnancy, but birth is okay. Yeah. Or postpartum is okay.
Yeah.
Like you go through divorce, your children are amazing. You know, there's always a plus side.
You're right.
Always.
You know what the crazy thing is, guys? My marriage was bad. My birth was bad. My postpartum, I had depression for all 3 children. But alhamdulillah, Allah has given me ease with my kids.
Alhamdulillah.
Like my children, alhamdulillah. Like
I
still worry though. Of course, I'm a mum, you know. Yeah. But my children are, alhamdulillah, like they are such a big blessing for me. They'll constantly tell me they love me. They'll constantly remind me how much of an amazing mum I am. Wallahi.
They're affirming you all the time.
Affirming me. They always tell me I'm beautiful. I look like a model. Like, like they tell me all these things, you know. And I'm just like, I've really been blessed, you know. I've really been blessed.
It's gonna make me cry. That's so sweet.
Yeah, no, honestly, really wallahi, sis. That's how my children are. One day you'll meet them. Like, they're just amazing. They are a blessing from Allah, you know. That's all I can say, you know. And I never want them to go through what I went through. Like, I can't lie to you, especially experiencing being married young and all of this. I would never want my daughters to get married young. Like, never.
Girl, I've been telling everybody on TikTok, anyone under the age of 25 should not be getting married.
Yes.
That I've been telling everyone, men and women.
Absolutely. I agree, wallahi. Honestly, you know.
Yeah, because if I think about who I was at 18, not that I was like crazy or whatever, but I just had this like innocence. I was so young,
and your frontal lobe wasn't fully developed.
I was an idiot.
I didn't know shit.
I was absolutely.
I was an absolute idiot.
I'm telling you, alive, like
I was on a vibe.
Yeah, here is me saying, but Gursanaya, and Abe was like, but you're not. You know, Abe lives in America, innit? So he was like, but you're not getting married. What are you thinking about? Like, you were born in Sweden. And he was like,
ready.
You're just like that Swedish guy. You're the same. But what are you doing? He was like, and then we went on the 3-way call with his mom, and his mom started shouting at him, and she was like, what are you? And he was like, oh, you're like, you can't do that. And she was like, what are you? And he was like, okay, okay. You know, and then I got married, but he was so unhappy, so unhappy.
Shout out to your dad.
I put myself in Rafat, like I did it to myself.
Where's your dad from? Texas?
To myself. No, Kansas City. He lived in Kansas.
Kansas,
girl. He lived in
Kansas.
Dorothy. Yeah,
you know Dorothy from Kansas.
Dorothy from Kansas. He ain't a hillbilly, girl. He ain't a hillbilly. No, he don't.
You don't?
He was driving a taxi. No, but my dad, my dad and my mum, they had us in Sweden. Wow. So my dad moved to America after they got a divorce and stuff.
American dream.
So American dream. Well, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I know.
He said red, white, and blue. He said, "This is my Fifth Amendment right. I'm gonna exercise my Fifth Amendment right."
Oh my god.
He got a gun?
No, he don't got a gun. Oh my gosh.
It's just normal to keep a gun in
America. It's just normal to keep a gun in it.
Oh, I love that.
That was so normal.
Vibes.
My gosh.
If I lived there, I'd have a whole...
Would you guys think about keeping a gun?
I would have an arsenal.
Over my dead body. Ain't gonna happen.
Really?
No, it's not happening.
Oh my god, I would be the
like
one screaming my Second Amendment rights, bruv.
Yeah.
I would be screaming, come on my property, you just trespassing. I'm gonna shoot your ass. I'm gonna shoot you. Yeah, come on my property, that's trespassing.
Seriously?
You a trespasser.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I would have an arsenal.
I'm so afraid of stuff like that.
Swear.
Because accidents happen in the home. I can't.
Accidents can happen.
I can't.
If you're silly,
somewhere safe.
Listen, we've lived life in the UK this long without owning guns in our homes.
But America's more dangerous, no? America's more dangerous, no?
I would have an arsenal.
I would want to keep one just in case an intruder tries to come in and, like, you know, because you never know.
I would have about 20.
An intruder can come to you now in the UK. Do you have a gun in the house?
Yeah, but you have knives.
A knife. A kitchen knife.
See, this is our bag of stuff. I'm joking. I'm
not.
Yeah, but in America, if you shoot someone on your property, it's actually okay. Like you won't get in too much trouble.
Yeah, because they came in.
Because they trespassed on your property. But how would you sleep if you do that, you're manslaughter charge and you're going jail.
Yeah, I know. But that's dumb though. That's mad. That this person tried to come into my house and kill me. Like, what the hell?
Your house.
What am I supposed to do?
Your house does not. It doesn't equate. Like you're not. It's not okay for you to end someone's life or take someone's life just because they were in your house. They see it as like necessary proportionate levels of violence or like proportionate levels of reaction.
Exactly.
What are we doing in my house?
What the hell?
It's not proportionate.
In the thigh and I'm getting in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's where their artery is and they've bled out in 5 minutes. The ambulance can't help them.
What were you doing in my yard?
Manslaughter charge, you're in jail.
I've got to protect my kids and you know what I mean?
I would
so if
kill
I end
for
up
my kids, I'm going to be honest.
Then it is what it is.
Literally. I even told them that and they were like, oh yeah, no. I was like, naya, amos. You
guys start sending letters in jail.
Yeah, literally. Well, I mean, I would do it, of course. Like, of course we would. Come on, like, you know.
I think you would have to think about it in this day and age because where would they go?
Where would they go? Exactly.
Where would they go? They'd end up in care.
Exactly. But when you're in that heat of the moment.
Yeah, you're capable of anything. There's the mums whose baby was trapped underneath the car. She flipped the whole car because of adrenaline.
Wow.
It gives you like a strength, like unbelievable.
That's why they say mama bear, innit?
Mama bear.
Literally, mama bear. Like strength of a bear, strength of a grizzly bear.
In that situation. You fucking with the wrong one.
Exactly. Trust me.
Sorry to the people that complain about my swearing.
Yeah. But is swearing allowed on YouTube? Because I can't see some of my videos. They're just like, oh, are you swearing? Are you speaking about guns and knives? And I'm like, no.
You have to declare.
You have to declare.
I do declare every time because I monetize mine as well.
Yeah. So it's not that bad, but you still have to declare.
You're more than welcome to cut it out. God, guns and glory.
No. Guns. Guns ain't. Yeah.
We're not promoting violence, so
we're
I guess it's okay.
Violence.
We ain't that deep. Anyways, Marian, bless you, man. So you had 3 pregnancies where you felt like, because obviously you were trapped in a marriage you didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
But at the time,
I wanted to be in it. I wanted to be in it.
At the time, you were in it.
But I was
okay.
But in hindsight, looking back, you realize you were in an abusive marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to know, when did you want out?
Exactly.
Okay. When did you realize this is not serving me?
This one is so sad.
And I want out.
I'll tell you. So before the last stage happened where I was like, I want out, I just want to kind of like show you like how it was, our marriage. Like whenever I wouldn't do something that he wanted me to do, he would lash out at me and say things like, you're going to burn in hell. You should be ashamed of yourself. I know women like you, women who came from Europe, a woman who doesn't obey her husband will burn in hell, this type of stuff, right? And I remember being so young and being in love and just crying and saying to him, why are you saying that to me? Like, I remember just saying that to him, like, why are you saying that to me? Why are you saying that to me? And I would cry the whole night. The next morning, I would wake up and my eyes would be so swollen, guys, yeah? I even feared that I would go blind one day because I was crying so much. I was like, what if I become blind, like, one day because I'm crying so much? You know, funnily enough, now it's like my vision's not as good as it used to be. Maybe it's all of that crying. I don't know. But anyways, he would message me in the morning, guys. And then he would be like, I'm sorry, Habibi, my aunto. I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for saying that.
So you were going through
I just got upset.
It reels you back in.
I just got upset.
Hot and
cold.
Yeah.
I just got upset with you. You know, I just love you too much. Like, I love you too much. You know? Damn. And he was very obsessive. So if I would like wear a skirt, because I used to wear hijab, if I would wear like a skirt and, you know, my scarf and stuff, he would be like, that skirt is too tight. You can see your figure. Because, you know, Somalia, then, you know, he was like, you could see your figure. And I would just be like, and then I would like just be self-conscious about what I wear and things like that all the time. Towards the end, anyways, when we were living together, finally, obviously, when everything worked out, we were living together. As soon as the day he came, guys, I already felt within me something doesn't feel right. I felt dread.
As soon as he came to the UK?
As soon as he to Sweden.
Into Sweden.
To stay with me. Because I had my first 2 daughters in Sweden.
Okay.
Remember why I had no recourse to public funds is because I came back to England.
Okay.
This whole time I was living in Sweden. I left from Somalia. I came to Ingriska. My mom said, go to Sweden because it's easier to bring your husband there. I moved to Sweden and I stayed there and I had my first 2 children there in the process, and I was going to him and coming back and all of this. Anyways, what happened was, as soon as he came and we slept in the bed, I just felt like just dark. Like, I was just thinking something doesn't feel right.
Crazy. You're meant to feel relief.
Yeah, no relief.
Oh my gosh.
I felt deep, like, just dark. And I was unhappy. And then we were together. My friend came and my sister came to visit me. My dad came from America to visit me. And my mum came from England. And that was the first time they saw each other after 20 years, guys. God, after 25 years.
Your dad came in like, hey, y'all.
Yeah. Howdy, y'all. And my mum was sitting in the kitchen and they hate each other's guts. They hate each other. Sorry. I know I'm veering off the story, but I have to say this part. Shit. They hate each other's guts. He came in and he was like, hey, kid, say that. And then she was like, fi'an. And he was like, hey, what do there? And she was like, I didn't know why do there.
Why is it that? Why?
And they were staying in the same house.
He said, you look old as hell.
My mum was staying.
You look old as hell.
I know. My mum was staying for a week. And my dad was like kind of staying with me for a few months. So my mum was staying there staying with me for like 5 days, right? And during those 5 days, it was the most awkward 5 days I've ever had in my life. But one night, the ice broke. We were sitting in the living room together, and then my dad's phone started ringing, and it was a ringtone of a baby crying with a beat in the background. You know, like. And we were all quiet, and my mum and my dad just looked at each other, and everyone just started bursting out laughing.
Oh my God.
That was the first time they laughed together.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm witnessing this. Last time they saw each other, I must have been like 6 or something.
God.
So,
your dad sounds funny, man.
My dad is funny. My dad is funny, but his way or the highway.
Okay.
Like his way, his way or the highway, darling. And he will hold on to a grudge until like for years. Like he still remembers what happened in 1996, darling. Wallahi. He'll be like, 1996, he did this to me, Abba. Can you believe it? He did this to me, Abba. And I'm just like, what? 1996, wallahi.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I hope my dad doesn't see this. Wallahi, maybe he'll be upset with me. Don't cut it off. Don't cut it off.
We love him already.
It's actually hilarious. Literally 1996. Like, what? Like, are you actually mad? Like, that's crazy.
That's a long ass time ago.
Long ass time. Mad. So anyways, my mum left. And then, what was I going to say again? Yeah, so
he finally came back.
Yeah, he finally came, and we're actually living together, right? I just felt dread. I wasn't happy. I managed to get pregnant again with my 3rd child, and this is what I'm saying with
Qadar Allah.
Yeah, Qadar Allah. And another thing as well, when you're married in halal way and you're Muslim, yeah, like, and you're so already beaten down by this person, it's very easy to get pregnant by it as well.
Yeah, it is, because
Somali women were so
fertile. You're not even there. Your brain is not even there. You're just so like, let me just get over and done with.
Yeah.
Because then if you say no, they're going to say Allah said that,
Abayo, yeah. I was already broken down by that time, by the way. I got to a point where I was so broken down where I feel like it was almost like it was programmed. So whenever he would say something hurtful to me, or like the abuse was going to come again, I would just do what he wanted me to do.
It's abuses. Sexual, emotional,
yeah, sexual even. Yeah, I'm even thinking about it now, and I'm just like, wow, like even the intimacy as well. I don't think it must have been consensual, because I wasn't happy with it.
That's so sad.
But I wasn't, and I wouldn't even say I was terrified, scared, but it was almost as if I submitted to it already. I submitted to whatever was happening, because I think I just gave up.
But he also used the deen.
Yeah.
To
till this day, guys, it still affects me. Like I still get triggered. Like I still out of nowhere I'll just be sad, and I'll be deeply sad, guys. Like, and it's wallahi, it's a very difficult situation, wallahi. I'm not gonna lie to you. So anyways, the last straw was I was pregnant with Safa, and my 3rd child, I can't lie to you, I wasn't happy with my third pregnancy. I'm just going to be fully honest.
Of course.
I love her. I absolutely love her.
We know that you love her.
Girl,
I know. I feel so
you love
guilty.
her.
I know.
Don't feel guilty about that.
Pregnancy is not easy.
Sis.
I had the worst
and it wasn't planned.
It
wasn't planned. The third one wasn't planned, Abayo.
Yeah.
So I had to leave school. I was learning Swedish then. I was doing so well with my Swedish. I was planning on starting uni in Sweden.
Wow.
Right? And I was doing really well, like assignments. Like I started learning how to speak fluent Swedish, you know. I used to help my friends as well do their essays, their English literature and language essays, and they would do really well. Wow. So I had my own support system there. Like I built something for myself slowly. And then all of a sudden I feel like that was taken away from me.
Yeah.
You know, and he was so happy the day that I said I'm pregnant. He cleaned the house and everything. It was like his plan, you know, so happy, you know. And I remember I just started going downhill after that. And obviously I get hyperemesis gravidum as well when I get pregnant. So I can't even keep water down either. You know, I remember you were saying something about you had it, right?
No, it wasn't me.
Was it you?
Hannah had it, one of our friends. Yeah. Also, we had a guest, Ilham, spoke about it.
I couldn't keep... Why do Somali women get hyperemesis? My sister had it.
A lot of Somali women get it. It's also through your genes.
Really?
If your mum had it, or if your siblings had it, or have it, then somebody's definitely going to get it.
I couldn't even keep water down, guys.
My mum had it with me, but I didn't have it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And light sensitivity, everything. Like, I can't even go outside.
It's horrible.
Yeah. I still have it now till these days.
Outside,
you know that. These days, I still have it. I can't lie to you. But I think it's because of all the assignments and the stress of life that I feel like that, you know? But it was so bad, guys. Downhill. I started going slowly downhill. And trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning. I remember one day I just wanted to like not live anymore. So I put on and I even lost myself completely, guys. Like I was wearing jilbab for him and everything. I put on my jilbab and I said to him, I'm gonna go outside. And I was crying and I was just saying, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna go outside. And I was planning on throwing myself in this river and like drowning myself. I'm not even joking. Yeah, like I actually never said this in one of my videos or anything because it is very painful. And then
I'm sorry.
When I said that to him, I remember him just grabbing me, pinning me on the bed, and the girls are at home, by the way, the two little girls are at home, pinning me against on the bed and just slapping me and saying to me, this is not Marian, this is the jinn. This is not Marian, this is the jinn. This is not Marian. Like, but guys, a man's hand slapping you, it hurts.
It hurts. Anyone slapping you
especially hurts. This side. You know when, like
the knuckles.
Yeah. It hurt so bad, and I just kept on saying, it's me, it's Marian, like, and I was crying, and I was just saying to him, get off me, and I couldn't get off it. I couldn't like get myself off him, you know, like he was too strong for me, you know. And then I ran into the bedroom finally when he got off me. I ran into the bedroom and I just burst into tears, and I remember him saying, I'm sorry to me, I'm sorry, and I was just like crying. And I remember my two little ones, my middle child now and my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter was like 3 that time. My middle child's like 1.5. So they both came to me and they was like, it's okay, mama. It's okay, mama. And they were like wiping my tears. It's okay, Hoyo. It's okay, mama. And I remember from that moment, that was when I was like, this is not gonna run.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's not gonna run.
All of this.
It's when the kids notice and they comfort you.
It's not gonna run. I was like, this is not gonna run. I was like, if I stay in this marriage, if I continue staying in this marriage, then it will be my fault because my children will think it's okay. Yeah.
You were pregnant with your third when he put hands on you.
Pregnant with my third. You know, and that's when I was like,
I'm trying so hard not to cuss your ex-husband.
Yeah, I know, Abaya. You know what the crazy thing is? He's married now and he's okay with his wife. From what I know.
You don't know. But the thing is,
guys, he said, I don't know. I have this theory, guys, that when you are with someone and you have these strong feelings and emotions for them, this infatuation, this lust and everything, and then you get married to them and it becomes love and you haven't healed from your trauma. Because imagine, he must have grown up in the war. I feel like all your insecurities come up. But when you're ignorant and you don't know how to work through those emotions, you're going to start projecting it onto the person and thinking that it's their fault that you're feeling insecure.
Yes.
So that's what he was doing to me. Because guys, real love does trigger Like if you're with someone and you genuinely love them and you start to get to that stage where it's like you have this bond with this person, if they say one really hurtful thing to you guys, that will sting.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying to you? So I must have been triggering a lot of these wounds without knowing it.
Yeah.
He probably thought I was really attractive and all of this, but his patriarchal views of women need to be held down, women need to be at home, I was kind of like going against that. And mentally, I feel like he was like not understanding it. It was conflict. He was causing him inner confliction.
Yeah.
Because his sisters were at home.
Yeah.
He's like, why is this one not being submissive?
Yeah, why is this one not being submissive? Why
they were raised
why
in
does she
that,
laugh
though.
loud? Like he even used to say, oh, like you laugh too loud, people think you're cheap.
Get the
No, that's the thing.
I
My
have a
mum
loud
used to say
laugh.
that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Ina
That's the thing.
laughing?
That's the thing. I remember when I was a kid, I was on the train with my mum and I went, my mum was like, hey, we don't laugh like that. You're a woman. You need to be quiet and laugh quietly. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah.
It's a thing.
You know, Somalia, that is so funny when they say, yeah.
My mum,
I'm
my
like,
mum says, will you promise heaven? Why are you laughing like that?
what, is it illegal there? Is it illegal to laugh?
if I laugh too much till today, my mum says, if you laugh too much, you're going to end up crying. In Somali.
Oh my gosh, the more you laugh, guys, the higher life expectancy, honey.
Oh, listen.
The longer you live. So
Listen,
laugh your ass
When I
off,
tell
darling.
you laughter is medicine. I'm
Yeah,
not joking, bro.
100%
Yes.
Like
is.
laughter.
Laughter is medicine.
Literally, like
It is.
laughter. The way I see it is, laughter is like an extension of a smile.
Yeah.
And smiling at someone will bring you joy.
Yeah.
Laughter is
And
like an
it's sunnah.
extension of that.
Yeah.
Smiling is sunnah. Like laugh a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
I enjoy laughing so much.
Exactly. There are
love
so
it.
many restrictions placed on women,
It's
guys.
so sad because
You know?
even laughter, your own laughter, you're
Yeah.
given a rule on your own laughter.
Literally.
If that doesn't tell you how many restrictions there are, I don't know what else can.
Literally. When I was a kid.
Next is going to be, don't even exist. Just
Yeah.
be quiet. We don't even want to
Yeah.
look at you.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like literally my other name was Udwain. Like big voice, like Udwain. Udwain. You know? But then I did have other names like Marian Qas, like unique, Marian, what was it again? Karti, like, you know, strong, courageous. And I am like that. You know, I think maybe everybody saw it from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just so interesting.
I can tell just by talking to you.
Yeah. I know how to continue on with life, and I feel like I'm very resilient. And I'm also very, what can I say? I'm very loving, I think deeply, too deeply, guys. And I feel too deeply. So I can be a very happy person, but when I get sad, guys, I get really sad.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no middle ground. I'm the same.
Really? Yeah.
I'm the same. The days that, like, people think that I'm always happy 24/7.
You seem like it, yeah, but you're not.
There's days where I'm like really sad, and then I'll have to find a way to talk myself out of it. As well, there's so much neurodivergence in the Somali community that people are not accepting of it.
I feel like I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I just haven't been diagnosed
even
yet.
with the ADHD,
because
right?
my mind's
like,
always scattered.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Because I'm definitely, I 100% have ADHD. I might even have a sprinkle of autism or
wow.
ADHD, right?
Yeah.
And that you're already more susceptible to things like depression and things like anxiety and things like mental health and like, you know, bipolar. There's bipolar Somalis. Like there's people who have so many different like
my friend has schizophrenia.
Yeah, there's so many.
Really close friend.
There's so many. But like people, they don't see that. They don't accept it. They don't want to know. Somali people, they're not interested in it.
Yeah.
But it's rife amongst our community. It's rife.
And you know what the mad thing is? Our parents probably had it. I'm not saying our parents.
You know
I'm
what?
saying
It's
community's
genetic.
parents.
Yeah.
Like in general, childhood, if you think about it growing up, how many crazy, not astaghfirullah, I'm not going to say crazy, but how many aunties and uncles have you seen that were dealing with mental and emotional problems, but they were chewing qad instead to relieve their pain? And this is not to judge people that eat jad, like at all, absolutely not. But I'm just saying how many people were going through that. How many people were having porn addictions and other addictions and things like that.
They don't know about coping mechanisms.
Yeah, they didn't know about coping mechanisms, you know, at that time. And now people are being diagnosed. But I feel like the people that came from Somalia had it already, like, you know. But
The
that
war,
time,
though, they wouldn't
community was
experience the
stronger,
war.
guys. Yeah, I know. But they came from the war, yeah. And that time, community was stronger, guys, if you think about it. Back in the day, like, I had so much fun, like, as a kid. Like, there was always community, parties, food.
Yeah.
Now there's
There's
we're just
nothing now. we've gone down the independent route.
Why, guys?
Because we came to the UK and we came to the West in general.
Even I have social anxiety now.
Yeah, but I think that's because of COVID. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely think that's because of COVID, because we all became so in our shell and in our own bubbles, living in COVID times, being locked in our own houses, that we lost our social skills. The people who were doing like Zoom meetings and stuff like that, even them, I feel like they're probably a little bit better than us, but they still lost their social skills. But in general, we were talking about this with Safana, weren't we? Where everyone's gone down like this individualism type of, this is my house. Before, you know, there was always that one house where it was like everyone's house. Everyone's always there. You just come there, people just show up. Nobody even calls. But now everyone's like, call me.
But that can never be my house, guys. You know, when everyone's house, that can never be. I don't know if you lot. My mum is everybody's house type of house. Person. I can never be that person. I don't know why.
Individualism.
Yeah, individualism. But
that's the part that we're missing out on.
Yeah, but you know, it wouldn't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because I remember growing up, like all the Somali, that they used to come together. You know.
Yeah.
Cook food. Somali here, everybody were عيار, you know? Even though I know a lot of people are practicing now and they don't listen to music, there doesn't have to be music. Like, why can't we just get together? You know? You girls need to invite me to every single event that you have from now on, inshallah.
From now on, we got each other's numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't get away from me again.
I won't get away from you. No.
I will let you know next time.
Inshallah, girls, of course.
I'll let you know.
And you know as well, we do this thing in our friendship group, which you guys, we should definitely do together. Is like the days that you don't have capacity, you don't have to explain yourself. You just say, hey, I don't have capacity. I'm at my limit. Like I don't have any capacity for any socializing or event planning or going somewhere. Like, remember, Suya, we have like,
I love that.
We tell each other, I'm at my limit, and then it's like, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. If you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God, you girls are amazing.
Well, like, it's so helpful because sometimes people feel guilty. They feel like they need to explain themselves.
Yeah, and if you think about it, guys, out there in society, most people won't understand. You know.
Yeah.
You girls understand because you've been through the trenches, honey.
Yeah, man.
You've had babies. You understand. You're a mom. You know. You probably had postpartum depression. You know, you've been through things.
We had it bad.
Yeah, and that's why now you guys understand what it means when someone says, I have no capacity. You know, some people don't get it because they always have capacity. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know,
usually the friends that don't have kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I even think to myself, like, how I don't even have energy to like go on live, you know, like to grow your social media. Yeah. I don't even have energy for that. Like, I'm just creating my content, this, but I don't have the energy to like sit on live and all of this because I have so many things to do, you know?
Yeah. But you know, this is why you need friends who are like, okay, you don't have capacity. Is there anything that I can help you with?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when we don't have capacity, if I lived at the one point near one of our good friends.
Yeah.
And I'll just show up at her house. I know you don't have capacity, but like, I'll take a load off you. Let me do some washing up. Let me do some cleaning. Like, let me help you so that you don't feel like you're drowning, you know? It's so important, wallahi, because sometimes when you're drowning, you feel like you're literally by yourself. When you have that person that comes, it can even remove you from that area, that space where you're in, where you're like, yo, I am in the trenches right now. It can take you out of it.
Yeah.
The problem with the trenches is not going there. It's festering and staying there. That's the problem. The longer you're in the trench, the more like
difficult
the
it
worse,
is to get out.
The more it's so hard to get out of it. The worse it messes with you. The more your brain hurts. The more your life spins. The deeper you go into it. But if someone could just pull you out of the trench the minute you get into it, or the same day that you get into it, you're only in the trench for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And that way you're like, okay, woo, I got over that one. Woo. It's almost a relief, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
It's a relief. But you need people for that.
Yeah.
You can't do that by yourself. You need people for that.
Yeah. Well, but
it's so important.
Yeah. Things like building community is definitely a very important thing.
Yeah.
And I haven't even gotten there yet, guys. You know, I have not gotten there yet. But inshallah, I will. You know,
well, there's a first step right here.
This is the first. Oh, it is. It really is. It really is. Wallahi. And I feel like also me starting my YouTube channel was also a step, and talking, reaching out to girls on TikTok and like getting to know people. And now that I'm here, and I feel like I am pushing myself out my comfort zone, and I need people around me. Also, I have my lovely friends at my uni, you know, as well. So alhamdulillah, you know, community is so important.
It really takes a village.
And talking as well. You don't realize that just talking, you're taking all that trauma that was stored inside of you. You'll feel a bit lighter once you talk about it.
Yeah.
That's literally when me and Nasra started Entry Level Moms, we were both in the pits, we started talking about it, and throughout our journey, it was kind of healing for me.
Yeah,
so is that what happened with you two? So is that how you girls ended up like starting this podcast?
We were depressed when we started.
We was fucking depressed. Like, you know, when I look back at some of our videos, I'm like, rah, Nazra, man, you look miserable.
I'm gonna go back and check. I'm gonna scroll down.
I was smiling, but I look miserable as fuck. Like, I was actually so miserable.
Even you can even tell from just how I was talking back then. Like, people can see my confidence has grown. In the beginning, I was very.
You've come back.
I was in my shell. You can tell. Like, I was very much in my shell.
Wow.
I don't watch those videos.
I stopped as well. I can't go back and watch them.
I find it cringy. I can't watch.
Do you know what I think we should do? I think we should do like an updated version of our pregnancy stories, so that we never really have to look back.
Yeah. Is that what you feel?
Yeah.
I mean, I did a recent one with Adam, innit? I could talk about Jenna's situation again, maybe, but
maybe we should do that.
It's also nice to keep it there, so people can see the growth.
True.
Because one day you guys might want to look back.
True.
I'm kind of upset now that I can't find some of my pictures that I deleted at one point, and I was like, I don't want to see them again. Now I'm like, I wish I could just see them again. Yeah. You know, so give it a bit of time. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. You know, you might want to look back one day and just be like, wow, like, God, I was miserable then, but you know what? I'm so grateful I can look back at that and be like, look how far I've come.
Yeah.
You know?
It's actually so beautiful. Yeah. Like, the journey is so beautiful.
It is. Wallahi, it honestly is.
So Sawia has a 4-year-old and almost 1-year-old.
Wow.
He's one. It's his birthday the other day. He's one.
You're still baby days.
And mine is 5. My daughter. Yeah.
Hey, you know when people are talking about their 8-year-olds and their 9-year-olds, for me it feels like a lifetime away.
Our friend's daughter turned 9.
Yeah, I'm still in the
trenches.
Yeah.
I feel like that's maybe why I got so triggered when I got pregnant with Adam. Because Jenna was just...
You weren't ready.
I was just like adjusting. Like Jenna was 2.5. I was just getting back to my normal self, and then I got pregnant again. So I was just like, damn. Another 2-3 years of this.
My God.
She said, oh shit.
Alhamdulillah though.
Alhamdulillah. He's so sweet. I love young ads.
Yeah, young ads.
I'm glad he's here.
No, we're good because we're out here sleeping through the night.
All a
now.
blessing.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
They're
all a blessing.
Honestly, alhamdulillah. And you know what? Alhamdulillah for being Somali women, because I feel like Somali women, we just karti.
Resilient.
Karti.
Yeah, but you know what? Can I just say?
Yeah.
I hate Nagnol culture.
Yeah.
I can't stand Nagnol culture. We have this culture where this is for the non-Somali viewers, but we have this culture where it's like, you know how black women hate being labeled as strong, independent black women. So we have this thing in Somali culture where it's like, they say like tie your waist and like basically suck it up. Tie your waist and get on with it, basically.
Yeah, get on with
it. Like, get on with it culture. Like, you're a woman. Like, you're a real woman. Yeah. If you just tie your waist and get on with it. Yeah. Like, you just suck it up. Yeah. Whatever you're dealing with, suck it up, get on with it.
We've all had kids before, suck it up.
Yeah, like, you're not the first person that has kids.
You're not the first and you ain't going to be the last.
And I hate that culture because it really does make people feel like...
They can't speak.
Yeah,
they can't do anything.
It feels like they feel like... You've been put in like a corner and in a box and like you're now stuck there. You can't. Yeah. It feels very trapped. Like you feel trapped. Yeah. In your own struggle.
Exactly.
And I was saying this on TikTok the other night as well, where I was like, people are like,
struggle with the Nagnol culture. It's embedded in me.
It is, yeah.
That's why I said to you, whenever I feel low, I self-isolate. I still do it. It's a journey, guys. It's a process,
course,
you know.
Yeah.
And
do you go to therapy or anything? Or?
I've been to therapy several times in my life, and I think that's probably why I'm so understanding of my pain. And I know, like, I've been through to therapy like 5-6 times, guys. And now I'm going to be doing a whole extensive sessions of CBT.
Wow.
So I've been on medication before. Like, I'm very much pro therapy, but I don't feel like everybody. Like, that's the answer to their healing. Like, I feel like there's other ways to heal as well.
Facts.
Because my therapist did say to me that some people have been through the worst trauma and they've healed from it, but they haven't been to therapy before.
Yeah.
Their body released it somehow. I don't know, like, you know? So I'm definitely a therapy girl, but it's not for everybody, you know? Because sometimes you don't want to recycle your problems again. Keep picking at the wound. When is it going to heal?
I hear that. I completely hear that.
You know?
Yeah, sometimes therapy doesn't work for people.
And that's okay.
And that's
There's
okay.
definitely other ways.
Definitely fine. That's why people say exercise, going outside.
Salah heals, guys. Going outside, definitely. Gym, exercise, whatever. Like, you know, whatever works for you.
Also, eating well. Like, if you eat shit, it's going to mess up your brain and your mind and your body, and you will feel like shit.
I can't lie to you. I want to get back to clean eating again.
I don't think I've ever clean.
It's so hard though, guys.
No way.
I don't think I've
Ben.
I'm being.
I did it this Ramadan and I felt incredible. I feel like I even lost weight.
I've never in my entire life
loved it.
Went through a stage where I was clean eating.
No way.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll eat healthier, but you know the whole clean eating, as in no sugar, no this, no that. I've never done.
I need my whole early 20s eat clean eating.
Try it. I love clean eating.
Yeah, I feel like my whole early 20s helped me now that I'm in my 30s.
Wow.
Because it did help, you know. But you don't have to go no sugar and da-da-da. Just eat healthy as to the best of your ability. You know, we're parents at the end of the day, but it's hard enough.
Maybe cut something out like fizzy drinks.
Start with that one. Yeah.
Crazy.
Occasional ones are fine.
Fizzy drinks.
Occasional ones are fine,
Yeah,
but I'm just not like, the thing is, I'm more of a foodie girl than juice or sugary drinks all the time. Like if you say let's go to the chicken and chip shop now, and you lot are getting yourself some like chicken chips, or a burger, wings and chips or something, it will be very hard for me to resist.
Oh my God.
But if you ask me, here, have this can of Coke, I'm like, I can say no to that.
Yeah.
But to the wings and chips, I can't say no.
Oh, you're like
I can't
me.
say no.
I can't say no to the
or
wings
like
and
Nando's,
chips, bruv.
or like let's go Nando's. I would have been like,
hey, stop, man.
Just today.
I was trying to go for
just
a
today.
I was trying to go for a chicken Nando's.
Yeah, literally.
Trying to go for a chicken Nando's.
Yeah,
I'm child free.
If you guys are down, it's on me.
Chicken Nando's, I'll come.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Two things that taste good: chicken, fried chicken, and grilled chicken. And free food.
Ooh. And you know what, guys? The mash
Love
with
that.
it. The mash with it.
Oh,
like
okay,
yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It don't make sense if you're having one. You might as well just fully go all the way. What the hell? Don't half-heart it.
Wallahi, don't half-heart it. Exactly.
Go all the way and then just say today, right off today.
Let's enjoy, guys. One thing about me, I love enjoyment.
Oh, yeah.
You're a soft girl life. Wallahi, she's a soft girl life.
I love enjoyment. And do you know what? One thing I'm doing to myself, especially now with my second child, because I wasn't doing this before with Jenna. Yeah. The reason why I was so depressed was I wasn't thinking about myself at all.
Oh.
Right? And I wasn't like, how do I explain it? When I was depressed with Jenna, I feel like my main problem was I didn't talk about it. And secondly, I didn't just, how do I explain it? I used to just sit in it and spend a lot of time on the bed and think to myself, well, her dad's at work, my mum's busy, I don't want to ask anyone to take Jenna from me and look after her for a bit. So I would just keep her with me in the house. We'd both be barricaded in the house. I learned real quick that as soon as this child goes with someone else and I do my own thing, that's when like the depressive state lifted a little bit because I put myself first.
So you had to
it took me a long time to realize
have time without her.
Time without the kids.
I can't lie to you, I haven't had time without the kids, and that's probably why I'm feeling so exhausted right now.
It's hard.
And guys, I have assignment deadlines.
I'm an advocate for ditching the kids and doing something for yourself.
I'm preparing for my dissertation for my third year in September. So now I'm going to be writing my research proposal. I need a few participants because my research question is going to be about single mothers and Somali single mothers and how they navigate society.
I got you.
You know?
Shout me.
So yeah, I'll shout you. There's a few other girls as well, inshallah. And then I'm going to do an interview, basically. Interview everyone and just see. And I do also want to interview a few people who chose to go child-free and who chose to never get married, who are Somali. And there are a few people out there. And I want to ask them why. You know, so that it will all link together. And
if
then
you want to use our platform, you're more than welcome to. We'll put a poll out and we'll get some people.
Please, definitely. I'll let
We're
you know when
that. Don't ever feel shy to ask us. Wallahi, we love shit like that.
We'll share that on our story.
Yeah, don't ever feel shy to ask us about stuff like that. We got you.
You girls are so amazing, honestly. But guys, I haven't had time away from the kids.
Listen, you know our events, we always say to the people, and this is why I always say I'm sorry in it, but like leave them kids at home because this is time for mums. I always say anyone who's below the age of 1, who's a baby or still breastfeeding, bring them because they don't have a choice really. Yeah. But leave your kids at home because this is time for you. You need to invest in yourself.
But you have to remember, not everyone has childcare.
I know, and that's the sad part.
Yeah, like my friend literally came over. My mom's in Umrah at the moment, Allahumma barik. But my friend came to help me watch the kids today. Yeah. And she's so amazing. She's so supportive, mashallah. But I don't have the same, I feel like I'm not, like I love my mum, but I don't get the same support that I feel like I see other girls getting from their parents. Like I can't just be like, Mum, I need your help with this and I need your.
Okay. Have you tried?
I have.
Have you tried just dumping them there?
Now, No, now before she came from Umrah, she was like, "Oh, kids are coming sleeping over." I was like, "Hey, hoy, inshallah." My mum loves, like, she's amazing. Wallahi, my mum. But my mum has had 8 kids. I understand.
I hear it.
Where that
shape.
I get it.
Do you see what I'm saying? Where that shape.
I hear it.
You know? Yes. Yeah. You know? And you're gonna want Dala and as well, babe.
You know what you do? This is what you do, yeah?
Yeah.
You bribe your kids. You say to them, everybody on their best behavior when you're at a year's house. Then you take them, say, Hoya, please, I need a day. I need just a day.
Yes.
Yeah? You bribe them. You say the person who's on their best behavior is going to get X, Y, and Z tomorrow or the day after or on the weekend.
Yeah.
Let them go there. Let her see how well behaved they are.
Yeah.
Then next time you ask, she's going to be like, okay, bring them.
Yeah.
And then the next time you bribe them again.
Yes.
And then the next time,
Wallahi,
you have to think about this. That's what I do to my kid. I said to her, you need to listen to grandma, be very good. But alhamdulillah, my mum's very hands-on. She only had me. So she's got a lot of energy and a lot of time for my kid. Alhamdulillah. Sometimes I'm like,
yeah.
I drop her and then I run.
Yeah.
Sometimes I drop her at the door and I do a U-turn and I'm like, bye. I don't even say bye. Sometimes I open the door, I throw her in and I close the door, I lock the door and I go.
That's beautiful.
Sometimes I don't even leave the car, you know.
Yeah.
I park up to my mum's house, I'm like, oh yeah, I have somewhere to be, please, I'm in the car. Jenna's literally coming out. She's gonna knock on your door now. Literally.
And then you're gone.
Jenna's goes in, my dad goes and takes Adam. I'm already reversing the car.
Oh mama, that's amazing.
Well, like sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do that.
No, you know what? Inshallah, I'm gonna figure something out in it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm probably extra stressed as well because of the education aspect.
Okay.
I'm doing degree, for God's sakes. Wow. And I've got kids. Like, my friends don't even have kids at uni, some of them, yeah. And they're like, I can't. Like, this is just, like, I'm stressed, I'm worried. And I'm like, nah, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know, they say that people, you know what they say?
Literally. No,
they say women's productivity goes up when they have children. Did you know that?
Yeah,
because the thing is, you're already juggling so many different aspects of your life, right? It's not that hard to add one more. So
that's how I managed to do it all.
Even our friend Hannah did a degree after she had her baby. Yeah. She was in the degree when she was pregnant and she continued. Yeah. By the time her daughter turned 2, she was there taking the picture with her with the hat and then her at her graduation holding the degree with her baby.
That's amazing.
Literally.
That's why some people are like, how do you do it all? How?
It's because you've already, your brain is already in the active mode. That's why.
That's so Alhamdulillah.
And when you don't have kids,
we're strong.
You have the choice to be lazy. You could be lazy.
Yeah, you have the choice.
Yeah.
But when you have kids, you don't
have the choice. No, literally. Yes. My daughter will be sick. I'll be sick. No, there's no sick for me.
Things keep going. It's still moving.
Wallahi, billahi, to can't add all the crackers also got the orange juice. Yeah. 7 Up. You know, 7 Up got also Mali the work but 7 Up.
It's a healer.
Why does it work? Why does it work every single time?
It actually works. The 7 Up works as a remedy for flipping.
You'll break your leg and somebody will say, yeah, go drink some 7 Up.
Yeah, go and drink some 7 Up. Your leg's healed.
I think it's the lemon, innit? The lemon. But Marian, listen. Yeah. We ain't got time.
Our episode's done.
Do you see how it flew by?
It flew by.
But yo, listen.
I'm happy.
Plug yourself.
What's plug yourself? What's that?
Plug yourself. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, that's so embarrassing. The fact that I was like, what does that mean? Okay. TikTok, Diary of a Single Mom. YouTube, Diary of a Single Mom. That's it.
Very, very easy.
Yeah, but are you guys gonna put the @?
Yes, of course we are.
We're gonna credit you and put the link in the description.
And yes, there you go. Everything. Yeah. Because on my TikTok I wrote like diary.of-a-single.mother because I had to do it like that. Otherwise on TikTok they wouldn't let me. There was like somebody else has that name. Someone else has
Diary of a Single Mom.
I'm like, who? Like
you end up with Diary of a Single Mom _____.
Yeah, literally.
Nah, it's all good. Guys, don't forget to subscribe.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your people, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Guys.
Send it to all the single mums you know. Yeah? We're going to build a community here.
Oh,
we can't wait to see our event on Sunday.
Do you guys ever bring guests again?
Of course. Do you want to come back?
Oh my God. We love doing that. Come back.